Yo, what the fudge is up? We back and we are doing a different kind of video today. We ain't playing no games, for real. Y'all might kind of be able to see it over here, but you know, for now, I'm just gonna set it up. We ain't playing nothing, but we doing a fucking book review today and a movie review at the same time. Kinda. Anyways, it's a book that may not need an introduction, and it's not fiction, or it is fiction. Shit. I'm gonna be saying a lot. Anyways, probably one of the most anti-government books you could probably. Is there a fucking phone ringing? Man, what the hell? Anyways, it's a book about. These nuts. I don't just think that means, bro. All right, we back. It's a book written by none other than some guy named George. It was written in 1949. It's a book about a totalitarian government that controls its citizens through speech, thought, and action all in one. It's called 1984.
What the hell, boy?
And I've been actually started reading like the past almost like 10 months, give or take. And this is the first book I read because, you know, it's pretty much an essential to be an anti-government stooge. You know. Things are gonna get crazy.
Basically, the summary of it is it's a dystopian novel written in 1949 about a totalitarian society ruled by the party. And the story follows some guy named Winston Smith, you know, some guy, low-ranking member of the outside of the party, you know,
government worker, basically, part of the bureaucracy.
And, you know, in the beginning of the book and the movie, he just doing his job, you know, correcting history to make it fit the party, basically, and doing his job.
Back table.
Ref Times 14284, page 3 by line 2 should read Miniprod forecast increased chocolate ration April 1984 from 20 to 25 grams per week.
Job, and you know, he starts to look around like, are these people really about this? They believe this shit? They really trying to do their job, or they trying to benefit the party? They just trying to go on with their lives, if you even call it a life. And there's 3 levels to this society. There's the inner party, which is, you know, probably like a few dozen people. There's the outer party, which might be a few hundred people. And then there's the outside citizens, which aren't even regarded as humans, called the proletarians. And they're basically regarded as helpless animals, like a few times throughout the book and the movie. I'm gonna try to get some clips of the movie into here, because, you know, there's actually 2 movies. There's an old screenplay from like the 50s, maybe the 60s, and then there's an actual movie in like the 80s or 90s. I don't know exactly when they came out, but the screenplay I was about to start watching, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to watch no 1950s shit. Anyways, man, once Winston starts to question the ethics of the whole system, he runs into some chick who's probably like half his age. Winston's probably like 45, I think late 40s, and then he runs into this chick who has like a sprained wrist or some shit. Her name is Julia, and she secretly gives him a letter saying, I love you, man. Meet me in Victory Square with this phony, you know, celebration of prisoners, and you know, we gon' set up a date, I guess. And once they meet up in the forest way outside the town, they hit it off immediately, because that's definitely how that worked. I mean, I guess.
But what the hell, boy? 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 But what the hell, boy?
In this society, the way you have a kid and have a marriage and stuff, the government sets you up. Like, you could probably name a couple places that do this. Don't mind my hat, man. I got this fucking Hornets hat on, man. I'm gonna wear it like a goofy gangster. And, you know, what else can I say, man? This government basically sets you up with a woman. They say, have a kid, but don't have any orgasms. Oh, no. And once they have kids, the kids have a job themselves. They got to call out their parents if they're thinking about some weird shit. Like, let's say, actually, matter of fact, in this movie, there is one of the dudes who got caught by his kid thinking outside the box, I guess you could call it, and it did not end well for him.
Keep away from me, Smith. I'm an agent of Goldstein. I didn't know it myself. Your crime is so insidious. It just creeps up on you. My daughter found it out. Very proud of her. Very grateful I've been discovered before it's too late.
Shit, man, I don't even know where to go from here. You know, it's kind of hard to remember a lot of the details from the book because the movie was kind of just skimmed through. If you just watched the movie and not read the book, you'd be kind of confused in certain parts. However, shit, man, Winston was subjected to some shit, man. So at some point, Winston goes into an antique shop, buys a little antique for $4. Then he asks the store owner, hey man, you showed me this room upstairs. You wanted to sell the furniture, but what, can I like rent the room out? You know, what are you charging?
Police don't like us much. That room. How much? $4 a week.
He said $4 a week, bro. Like imagine renting a room for $4 a week instead of like 250 or something. Anyways, you know, and then once he gets the room rented, you know, he thinks all is good, and he brings his girlfriend back, and they hang out, you know, at least a couple of times every few weeks or whatever, and they think all is good. They chilling. The girl Julia brings like a lot of knickknacks from the inner party, like coffee and tea and sugar, bread, milk, tea, or I said tea, coffee, or I said coffee. That's pretty much all they get. But
let me show you what I've brought. Look.
What is it?
Real sugar. Not saccharin. And I've got a loaf of bread, proper white bread. And jam. A real tin of milk. Look.
Coffee. Real coffee.
In a party, half a kilo.
How did you manage to get hold of all this?
Oh, there's nothing those bastards don't have. Aren't you pleased?
Yes. Yes, of course.
you know, and probably like the fifth one of the, you know, once they do it a few times, there's definitely some foreshadowing to this part, but once they hang out in this room a few times and they think all is good, that's when shit hits the fan, man. That's exactly when shit hits the fan. They looking out the window at this proletarian lady singing. She's got a nice voice and a fat ass, and they caught what they passed down, literally, because the entire time, I gotta set this up a bit better. In this movie, in your private home, they have televisions that always play propaganda, or government television, we call it probably. And I'm gonna move this goofy ass hat around. And you know, they have a camera that watches you, as you know, all the time. And not long into the book / movie, Winston has a diary hidden inside of a brick wall that he writes in. He says, "Fuck this shit." Long story short, and you know, somehow he got found out there too. But when they were in when they were in Winston's second house, shit, man, they got caught with their pants down. There was a secret TV up in there the entire time watching them from day one. The store owner was secretly an inner party member, or like a cop or some shit, undercover agent, fed, whatever you want to call it. And he was like, "Yeah, man, what are you doing? You fucked up. Let's take you to the Ministry of Love." Which, another thing about this is they have their language is super goofy. They have this thing called Ingsoc, which is called like English Socialist Speak or some English Socialism, I guess you would call it. It's set in Britain, so these motherfuckers got the goofy accents. Never mind the goofy teeth. Yeah, man. Ingsoc is like English Socialism, and instead of saying, they manipulated the language so bad, it's like you gotta sound like a damn near like a second generation caveman, basically. Instead of saying things are going pretty good, you say things are double plus good. Double plus good basically means very good. Instead of saying very good, you say double plus good. Instead of saying bad, you say ungood. And instead of evil, you say ungood. And instead of like, I don't even know where else to go with that, but you get the gist. Anyways, man, they get caught with their pants down. They get arrested and taken to the Ministry of Love, which is a whole nother thing, because that's a whole part of doublespeak is the meaning is not what the word is. Because the Ministry of Love, you really think you're gonna have a good time there in this society, man? Look at it. Look at this shit. I might even I don't even know. Anyway, they get arrested and dragged out their second house naked. I would definitely show some of this shit from the movie, but I'll have to censor the nudity. It's fucking weird. They don't show Winston's dick in the movie, but they show like Julia's tits and fucking pussy, bro. Like, why?
We are the dead.
We are the dead.
You are the dead.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Remain exactly where you are. Make no move until you are ordered.
Now they can see us.
Now we can see you. Clasp your hands behind your heads. Stand out in the middle of the room.
I'm glad I didn't see no dick, but you know, it is what it is. You know, they get captured basically and they get tortured, man. First, they just sit around for weeks, or actually no, we come to find out that Julia basically betrayed Winston right away because it's like, she's a woman. You really think she's gonna sit there for weeks and, you know, put up a fight when she's like not even 30? And you know, Winston sits around for weeks on end, and then before he knows it, the inner party member who befriended him, I think his name was O'Brien.
my God!
That motherfucker played him, bro. He gave him this book. I don't even know what this fucking video is anymore, bro. But he gave we had 10 minutes, bro. That's crazy. Gave him this book from the rebel forces leader called Emmanuel Goldstein, and it was basically a book explaining what the party is, its ideals, its plans, and you know, Winston comes to find out Emmanuel Goldstein ain't even real. This book was written by the inner party to you know, basically lure out the thought criminals, they're called, man. What the fuck? Look at me, man. Like, if I were in this society, bro, I put this video up and I like played it, bro. I'm not living longer than a few weeks. This shit's crazy. And you know, when Winston's stuck in the Ministry of Love, he is forced to portray his beliefs and love for Julia, but he does it in a way where in the moment, I don't know, I don't really know how to explain it, but at first, you know, he doesn't really want to be 100% betrayful, I guess is a word. Is that a word? Probably, maybe. It's a word now. Eventually it escalates, man. These motherfuckers electrocute him, electroshock therapy type shit. Therapy, you know, it's the doublespeak term for sure. And speaking of doublespeak, man, it's a whole sub language of English that politicians use, like in real life to this day. They say all is good. You know, if I could point right, you know, that whole, if I could do this right, this might be a funny clip. This whole little area right here in the map, all is good, man. All is great. I can't do it right here. Yeah, y'all get the gist. All is great, but you know, motherfuckers getting murdered and killed, and then some, robbed every day. You go like, I can't do this right. You go like right in this area, you know, you're gonna see this shit every day, daily. Over here too, here. Holy shit. These motherfuckers. These are not the immigrants of the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s.
I ain't been up on the block in a minute. I've been missing out the walk with a minute. I've been building all the blocks like a minute. Elliot got water dripping out the city. Oh my god, boy, he got a Glock. Oh my god, boy, that boy on top. Sit and walk, make my heart stop. All these hoes, yeah, my love, my thigh. All her go, put her on rope, put that on payroll, put that hoe on go. Yeah, she like to go, yeah, she love the pole. Hit that dish slow, hit like a snow cone. Yo, get that bag, hey, show 'em how to ball. I'm in the mall, hey, young sitting tall. Look like y'all mean, Chinese eye low, hey. All you hoes know, hey, Cardi got the roll, hey. Give me, yeah, need me, hey, I'm in me, I'm needing me, hey, I'm gonna take. Cardi being pick, hey, Cardi being pick, kick shit in, hey, yo, give me, hey, Pia need me, hey, Cardi what again, Cardi making get, Cardi making hit. We don't need some nigga, we don't need my jelly, make sure you ain't no limit. I ain't been up on the block in a minute. I been missing out the walk with a minute. I been building all the blocks like a minute. Elliot got water dripping, not the city. Fucking on you, baby, I'm a great baby. Fucking on you, baby, I'm a great baby. Fucking on you, baby, I'm a great baby. Fucking on you, baby, I'm a great baby.
These people aren't trying to work. Hell no. But that's a whole nother issue for another time. I'm not really trying to get into real life politics, man. At least not with this video, because that shit bullshit. But speaking of bullshit, man, Winston is continually tortured, physically, mentally, emotionally, all that shit, until they bring him to room 101. But before I get to room 101, I do want to mention, when they get caught with their pants down in Winston's second house, bro, there's a difference of how it happens in the book and the movie. Physically, it is the same, but in the book, oh my god, bro, I never had that kind of feeling reading a book, bro, where you feel that you just feel that feeling of getting caught, bro, just getting caught. Never, like, there's that feeling getting caught by like your parents if you're doing some sus shit, teachers, whatever, but getting caught by a hidden camera that the government's looking at, like 24/7 type shit, bro, dude, that feeling was crazy when I read that part. And the crazy part is I still remember this feeling vividly, and it's been like almost like give or take 6 months since I read this book. I just watched the movie to refresh my memory and kind of add context to the shit. But in the movie, when they get caught, dude, the voice they use, bro, it did not have that same feeling. It was goofy as hell, the voice they use. I'm gonna play the clip, of course, you know.
You are the dead. Remain exactly where you are. Make no move until you are ordered.
I'm gonna try to mock it real quick for a second. Hold up. What was like? I don't even know what he said, bro. He was like, "You are the dead." He sounded like some kind of goofy German or something, man. Anyways, man, once they get into the Ministry of Love and Winston ain't breaking so easily, they bring him to room 101, which is where the real torture begins. So they obviously want to try to find out what your biggest fear is. And, you know, obviously it was found out for Winston. His biggest fear is rats. And if you've ever been to Britain or New York or London, some of these bigger cities, man, these rats get huge, bro. And they savages. Man, shit, man, this book crazy. I might do this. I put the book here like this. Could just do it the whole time. Anyways, yeah, man, it goes hard, man. And once they get into room 101, they have these 2 rats in a cage, and O'Brien, the inner party member, basically puts it up to Winston's face. I'll play a clip. It ain't really. They don't actually eat his face because reasons.
The mask fits over your head, leaving no exit. I press the first lever, and the rats move into the front compartment. I press the second, and the door of the cage will slide up. These starving brutes will shoot at you like bullets. Have you ever seen a rat leap through the air? They will leap onto your face and bore straight into it. Sometimes they attack the eyes first. Sometimes they burrow through the cheeks and devour it.
But basically the cage works like you have 3 levers. One lowers the first cage, so there's a second cage, and then there's the outer cage, which is a whole symbolic, you know, image of how the whole political system works. You got the whole inner, outer, and then the outer of the outer, whatever the hell. And you know, Winston is scared to death. He's like, fuck this shit, man. Fuck that bitch. Now they got these rats about to eat my eyeballs, my tongue, my cheeks, my teeth, my nose. Man, fuck this shit. Fuck that bitch. Now I don't care about that bitch. Oh, now you don't give a fuck. Anyways, yeah, and that's when bro officially breaks. He's like, fuck it. And basically the gist is, once you submit, they let you go for a while, but you don't really exist in the public sphere anymore. And they throw your confession out to the public, and Winston confessed to the dumbest shit that he obviously didn't do. But you know, what can you expect? Pissing in the water. I just might play the clip.
I accuse myself of the following crimes. I have seduced party members of both sexes. I've been to the proletarian areas. I deliberately contracted syphilis in order to spread the disease to my wife and other party members. Together with other agents, I have counterfeited banknotes, wrecked industrial machinery, polluted the water supply, guided Eurasian rocket bombs to targets on Airstrip 1 by means of coded radio signals. I stand here a victim of the influence of Emmanuel Goldstein, guilty on all counts. I'm glad I was caught. I was mentally deranged. Now I am cured.
He didn't literally piss in the water, but you know, he was like, fuck it, man. And the end scene is Julia is still alive and Winston's still alive. They're back in shape, you know, somewhat, but they clearly look like they ain't the same. And they meet up in a proletarian bar, pretty empty. Shit. Winston's trying to figure out chess moves when there is no more moves to play, figuratively. And he's like, hey, Julia, how are you doing? And they basically just say what was and go on their merry way. However, the book and the movie ends off there, but it's kind of open-ended because O'Brien himself said, yeah, we let you go live for a little bit longer and we just kill you less when we want to. It could be within a week, month, year, decade, but you always gonna wonder when your time gonna come. And that is, in essence, 1984, man. Obviously, our society in real life is not gonna be exactly the same as this, but in essence, it could be, to an extent. Shit, man, the only jobs that are gonna be left is government jobs. Fucking AI all the desk jobs are gonna be taken by AI, bureaucracy. Government should be taken by AI, but are they gonna let it happen? I'm not even gonna answer that myself. And there's three kind of themes that this book plays into: is totalitarianism, surveillance, and censorship. And surveillance and censorship are heavily used by the US government today. Obviously, totalitarianism is kind of iffy. They try to be sneaky about it. And also the power of language too, which they're not sneaky about. They're obviously dumb as fuck, so...
Especially the boomers, bro, but that's like I said, man, that's another topic for another day. These motherfuckers don't know what they're doing. This book serves as a warning. Shit, man, for all I know, man, some CIA, FBI fool is looking at this footage right now as I'm recording it. They could do that. Well, maybe, but, I mean, once I stop the recording and it's on my hard drive, I'm sure they might be able to, but...
Nobody gives a shit! You know, IRL, the biggest step towards the surveillance censorship complex in real life, it kind of had to do with a certain day in September 2001.
And look at Randy Orton slithering. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! KO! Here's the cover!
Bruh. But like I said, man, that's another topic for another day, man. I think I explained this book pretty well. The next book I want to review, I don't think has a movie, but I'll keep it. But basically, man, it's another book about the future of humanity, but it's alternative. It's a little bit different. It's a lot more to do with science than goofy governments. Man, how many goofy governments are there, man? I have to look at the globe. Was there like 230? Something like that? Man, anyways, man. That's gonna be it for today. I don't really think I missed too much other than the fact that there was a few weirdos in the story too that got caught, disappeared. And let's do a bonus facts. Fuck it. Bonus facts! Anyway.
But my it right in the pussy.
Wow.
There's in the ministry, man, they have this thing called the 2 minutes hate, where when you're at your desk job, everybody in the office spends 2 minutes staring at the TV screen, yelling and bashing. Fuck you, you fucking traitor, you fucking douchebag.
Shout out his name!
And for what? And just to basically, like, either if it's the resistance leader Emmanuel Goldstein, or if it's some dude, some thought criminal. Could be any prisoners. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they're at war with these other, you know, super countries, I guess. Eurasia and East Asia, and I think there's Oceania is the country that this story takes place in, which is like, I guess, mostly Europe, something like that. It don't make sense because Oceania is actually Australia, but these motherfuckers are British, so I don't actually know where this place takes. I don't actually know where this takes place at. But still, it was a fun read, fun watch. I literally just watched the movie. I wanted to record this, so we killing, time we killing. I guess is a better way to do it. Shit, man. Also, they didn't put this in the movie, but I just remembered it. Bonus fact: they, in the proletarian area, you know, the outside government people, they be getting bombed pretty often, like, I don't know, every few days or some shit, or more often than that even. And even in the movie, in the book and the movie, Winston comes out of either the bar, I think it's the proletarian bar, and the corner right behind him is bombed. He's like, what the fuck?
Steamer! Dead overhead! Get down! Get down!
And but it gets pretty gruesome, but basically when Winston and Julia are hanging out in the second house, man, Winston brings this up, and Julia brings up the theory that, hey, maybe this isn't our enemies that we're at war with bombing the proletarians, but rather our own government. And I thought, when I read that, keep in mind this is in the book, this dialogue, my first thought was, that was my first thought, because why would you not? I don't even know where to go with that, man, because like my first thought was it was the government that was bombing its own outside the government people, obviously to keep them in line in some sort of way. But that's a whole nother situation, because that's obviously the fact. It's obvious. I don't know why Winston didn't think of it. Probably because he's an innocent middle-aged man and Julia is a not innocent young adult. Yeah. Anyways, man, trying to think if there's any more facts to back this. Yeah, man, but it's not too hard of a read, man. It's almost 300. It's almost 300 pages, 298 pages, with a little bit of extra knowledge at the end, I guess you would call it. But I think I explained it pretty well, man. I'm gonna have to cut this up pretty finely, fine clips on the movie, because it's fair use, right? Shit, we explaining it, we explaining context. If I get a copyright strike, I'm gonna cry. But you know me, I don't give a fuck. All right, man, that's gonna be it for today, man. That was a really good first book review. I winged it. The only thing I did was use an AI text to have a quick summary of the book, which I used a little bit. But other than that, man, it was cool. 24 minutes. That's crazy. It's like a Chicken Little level or some shit, man. All right, man, that's gonna be it, man. For real. Peace the fudge out. And if you want to know what book I'm gonna read or gonna review next, I don't even know where it is, man. I don't even want to look for it. All right, man. Peace out.
I'm a great baby. Fucking on you, baby. I'm a great baby. Fucking on you, baby. I'm a great baby. Fucking on you, baby.